everyone, welcome back to Dawn and Dreams. It is your lady Ms.Z. Thank you so much for tuning into another video. If you would, please make sure that you like and subscribe and comment down below which one you chose. If you would like to book a reading with me, please go to dawnanddreams.com. That link will be in the description box along with the timestamps. So this is going to be a pick a card reading on what spiritual messages are you ignoring. So my hubby gave me this topic, so this is the one we're going to do today. And I also have another one hopefully I'll be dropping today as well. But yes, it's going to be what spiritual messages are you ignoring right now? And I'm going to go ahead and show you the three options that we got. And you know I like images, so this is going to be pile 1. This is going to be pile 2. And this is going to be pile 3. Okay. And I don't think there's any other announcements that I have to make before we go forward. If you need more time, please pause the video. We are going to be throwing bones. I'm going to be throwing a few cards as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you need more time, pause the video, but we're going to get right into these messages. So I'm going to bend the camera down like I always do so you guys can see me throw the bones and get into the message. All right, so for those of you who chose pile 1, this is your pile, and let's take a look. Okay, so you chose the elephant. So right off the bat, with you choosing the elephant, you know, it says, what spiritual messages are you ignoring? I'm going to be completely honest with this pile because I feel like you're very, very wise. You're very wise. You're very, like a role model. People look up to you, whether you want them to or not. So it's kind of like you have to uphold a certain level of, you know, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's like you have to uphold certain things. Let's just put it that way. You have to uphold certain standards, I guess, for yourself, because everybody is looking at you. Everybody is watching you be somebody great. So it's kind of like, you know, your ancestors tell you certain things you should and shouldn't be doing because you are a reflection of them. And also because you have a very wide audience. And those of you who don't have it yet, you're going to get it. You're going to get a wider audience, and you're going to get more people looking to you for, you know, confirmation, for, you know, the role, you know, the person that they want to be like. Let's say that. The person that they want to be like, the person that they look up to. So you hold a lot of responsibility. And for those of you who chose this, most of you are people who translate messages from the spiritual realm over to here, because the elephant does have that quality. The elephant is someone who can, you know, is very versatile. They can speak to humans and they can speak to animals. They're very, very wise people. It's also a representation of ancestors being around as well. And one thing I noticed with this picture is like, I guess it's not necessarily smoke. It might just be dust, but there's just something that's kicking up in front of the elephant's face. So I'm hearing a couple of things. I'm hearing spiritual signs that you're missing. Literally, it's like, what spiritual messages are you ignoring? But it's kind of like you're ignoring certain signs too. So with this pile, I'm not saying that you have to be perfect, because nobody's perfect, you know. There isn't, like, what is perfect? But I do feel like you are told to, like I said, uphold certain standards, maybe talk a certain way, be a certain way. You're going to be very responsible. So I feel like your ancestors are always trying to send you signs about what's the next step or level up for you spiritually, and you're supposed to take that very serious. So sometimes you get that kick of dust in your face when you're not taking things seriously, when you're not taking your path seriously, when you're not doing some of the things that they've already told you to do within your dreams, within certain signs that you've received. Do not doubt what it is that you see, because you get literal signs. You know, they come to you literally, not just in the spiritual realm. They also show you these signs in the physical, because these signs are physical. They may be acts of nature, but there's still spiritual signs that you know are in sync with whatever's going on in your life. So let's go ahead and throw the bones on that. Let's see what signs that you are ignoring. What spiritual messages are you ignoring? Okay. Where is my, okay. Yeah, boom. Okay. Let's see. So for a lot of you, okay. Now, I don't know, like I said, this is only going to be a selected few of you. You've been getting signs within your body that there needs to be some type of diet change, okay? And this also deals with your spiritual journey, because the ancestors not necessarily want to keep you here forever, because nobody's going to be here forever, but they do want you to have a longevity in your life. You know, they want you to have a healthy life, so that way you can be a vessel for them. Certain things that you may eat, certain things that you may do may block out certain gifts, and you are a translator, you know, to say the least. So it's important that you do certain things, and just for yourself, not just for the work that you're going to be doing, for yourself. Make sure that you have a healthy diet. Okay, so don't ignore spiritual signs with that, because a lot of things that you experience within your health may not even be that serious, but your body's trying to tell you ahead of time. Okay, so let's see what's going on in your bones. You have been told about certain friends. You have been told about certain people that you should and shouldn't be around. You've also been told about certain, this could be friends, and this also can relate to jobs as well. Certain things, okay. So for some of you, you need to, I'm not going to say just go ahead and quit. You know, I don't like to say that, but I will say that you do need to find something that's more in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing, because sometimes things are not working out there. You may find yourself in work drama. People are putting all the extra work on you, like they're not valuing you. And sometimes that continues to happen. The ancestors will continue to let you go through it until you wake up and say, okay, I've received enough signs. It's time for me to level up. Meaning, like, they want the best for you. So, you know, you staying in that situation will make you not be comfortable. Does that make sense? You'll start to get real uncomfortable, and you will have to push forward. A lot of people won't move on, won't level up, because they're too comfortable in the position that they're in. So spirit will make you feel a little uncomfortable for you to get out of that situation. And this deals with friends as well. Certain friends watch your success. And, you know, they need to kind of be pushed to the side a little bit, for those toxic friends, because it affects your success. I see you holding yourself back and the things that you need to put out into the world, because you're still like, you know, are my friends looking at me do this? Are my friends looking at me do that? In a way that maybe you're trying to be good enough for them, but you just need to be good enough for yourself and your destiny. Because they're showing some things that are trying to block your path, and it deals with either friends for some of you, and some of you it deals with your career goals, what you're doing, whatever it is not in alignment with your future. And I'm seeing that you may still even be trying to give offerings to friends. You may try to invite somebody over or connect with certain people, but things just aren't working out. Take those spiritual signs and understand what that means. Is this person in alignment with where I am going? Okay. A lot of you aren't nurturing your ideas. Some of you still feel restricted in wherever you are financially and in other areas of your life, but they're saying that you're not nurturing your ideas. Sometimes you're going to have to push a little bit harder in order for things to jump off for you. So you receive signs dealing with you constantly being consistent with something. I'm also seeing that you've been receiving signs, again, about success. There's a lot of success coming for you. It's just like maybe you can't see the vision because it's not there yet. So maybe you start something, and then when something doesn't go right with it, you want to just quit it altogether. But you should not do that. You should stay consistent with it. Because I'm seeing a major event that's going to change a lot of things for you. I'm also seeing a lot more exposure with who you are. Okay. They're saying you need to keep hope. A lot of you have been receiving spiritual signs concerning your relationship. So this is not going to relate to everybody, but I do have to put that message out there for those who it does relate to. Okay. For those of you, so I can put it two ways. All right. For those who are in relationships and those who are not. For those who are in relationships, I'm seeing a renewal. I'm also seeing a child being born. So it's important that, you know, the person that you have a child with is on the same page as you. You have goals together, things like that. So for those of you who are in committed relationships, it's important that you get on the same page, because Spirit is telling you to keep hope, and there is a child coming. So you're receiving signs to work things out before you have this child. So if you've been wanting a child and you haven't been able to get pregnant, things like that, it's kind of like on hold until you get this relationship worked out. Now, for those of you who are single, I'm saying that if you previously left somebody, if you just got out of a relationship, you previously left them, it is okay, because they're showing a new beginning. They're showing that right now it's time for you to focus on yourself, but the committed relationship will happen for you in the future. Like, don't get down on yourself. That's basically what they're saying. It's like, continue to have hope. But right now, you're moving into a phase of like really expressing yourself and being true to yourself. So take this time to renew who you truly are and what you lost in that relationship, getting back to yourself. Let's see if there are any other messages. Okay. So another thing is a lot of things that you invest in, you seem to be confused about. And this especially deals with people too. Because it's like sometimes you invest in things and you don't get back what you put into something, and there's some confusion. But again, like I said before, it deals with what you're investing in as far as your job and as far as your friends and interactions with people. Some things aren't meant to work so that it can push you to what you're actually supposed to be doing. But they're showing that for a lot of you, you've sacrificed a lot with certain people, and it's time for you to make change. Because they're showing that, what is this? What does I call it? What's that? Let's see, was it lack? I don't know how to say that. Like you're being spiritually drained. You should be careful when doing this with anybody in your life. Family, doesn't matter. Be careful with giving out a lot of energy and not receiving anything back. So like I said, a lot of things are just in your face, like the smoke is just in your face. It's not even as spiritual as it could be, because it's just like, hey, this is just what it is. So just, you know, it's literally happening to you in your face. So pay attention to what's happening around you more than anything. Now, another thing is, you should continue to dig deep into your ancestry. And I'm seeing a lot of you working towards change. Some of you also, you're receiving signs that you're tired and you need to rest, and you do need to take a break. You need time for healing. You need time for vacation and going different places. Again, I'm seeing you being restricted. You feeling like you have a lot of responsibilities. Even if you have a child, take your child with you, or, you know, drop them off at grandma's house. You do need to take some time out for yourself. But I'm seeing a lot of you overworked. But again, another thing here is you're receiving spiritual signs about not feeling restricted spiritually. You should not restrict yourself. Figure out why you're drawn to certain things, because some of these unknown ancestors are here, but they can't fully speak because you're still restricting. Does that make sense? Like, oh, I shouldn't do this because I don't know what's my connection to it. It's not to say that you should just go ahead and do it. Find out what that connection is, because sometimes the ancestors are leading you there because it is actually them, okay? It's in your lineage. You shouldn't be restricting yourself and what you do and getting to know yourself spiritually. Okay, now let's see. Let me pull some cards on what spiritual messages are you ignoring. Then we're going to go on to the next pile. Words from Orun would be really good for this, so I'm going to use that deck too. And I should be restocking that, guys. I'm going to get some Spirits of the North restock too. I know you guys have been asking. It's just a big investment, so I have to wait before I reinvest. Okay. Yep. You have been receiving signs. Lord have mercy. And a lot of you, you know, you could definitely use a reading with one of your trusted advisors. Don't have to be me, but definitely getting you a reading with a trusted advisor, because this is a lot that came out, and just a pick a card reading. See, I can't even get into it like I want to. Like, I be wanting to go on and on and on and on, but I have to like remind myself, hey, this is a pick a card. I don't want to keep them here that long. Just try to hurry up and get these messages out. But, you know, you get time, get you a good message for yourself so things aren't rushed. All right, so let's go on. Yeah, this is a good time for exposure for you. You know, don't ignore, you know, that message of, do you want to go out and get you some clothes? Do you want to do things to just basically boost your self-exposure, boost how you look and how you feel and things like that, okay? Because this is a time for you to just be unique. You're receiving a lot of signs about being unique. I'm also seeing fast movement for you. You've been waiting on a lot of things, but things are going to pick up for you. You just have to be consistent. Okay, you got to cleanse your home, control your emotions. Negative energy is trying to stop your plan. So you have a lot of red flags. So that means that there's a lot of, you know, messages that come to you. Control your emotions, cleanse your home. Let's see, dance ritual. So for those of you who need to hear that, offering accepted. So if you've been giving offerings to whoever you give offerings to, it is being accepted. So this is why a lot of things are going to change for you. Just be consistent. Be consistent with your work, and you will see consistent, basically alleviation from, I want to say pain and suffering. Let me not go there. With your finances and other areas that you've been praying on and asking about. Now, the other thing you have is someone has tried to cast work or send negative energy your way, feeling attached, sleepless nights, protection needed. So those of you who have been losing a little bit of sleep or have been having like tainted dreams, so to speak, it is because your spiritual team is trying to warn you about certain people. Now, don't look at this and go crazy. A lot of people do that. They go, oh my God, somebody's after me. Don't do all that. Just handle it accordingly, okay? Look at who's around you in the waking. And it seems like they're trying to protect you from that. I also want to say the arranged marriage, who is for you will be with you. And make sure that you're working with them to elevate the person that you're with. Dance ritual. So we already talked about that for this pile. It's time for you to elevate spiritually. So a lot of you will be going into trance. You will be doing a lot of dancing, a lot of listening to music to elevate yourself. So don't miss the opportunity to do that, and don't ignore it when spiritual work is being put in front of you. Okay? You do need to cleanse your home because negative energy is trying to stop your plans. And don't let your emotions get out of control either. Don't overreact. Okay? So that is pile 1. Let's go on to pile 2. All right, for those of you who chose pile number 2, right, let's see why you chose this pal and what spiritual messages are you ignoring? Okay, so for this pal, a lot of you deny, more than ignore, you deny yourself of greatness, okay? Because I see this as like that mansion, that big building, that career goal that you have in mind. You deny it being bigger than what it actually is. I don't know if I said that right, but basically your stuff is going to grow to be something really, really great. And you may put it down, or even if you're thinking negatively, because somebody could tell you, oh, this is going to be big. And you're like, yeah, it's going to be big. Then in the back of your mind, you're like, this is going to take forever. But they want you to speak positively of your success and where it's going to go to, because I am seeing that for this pal, it's really majorly targeted towards your success. Overall, your foundation, your legacy. There's going to be a lot of good things coming to you with what you're doing. Some of you are going to start grand businesses and it's going to blow up before your mind, right? If you have a YouTube channel, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't really matter. It's going to take off in a lot of different directions. If you have certain creations that you're working on, you may not see where it's going right now, but the future is bright for you. So that's what they want you to remember. And again, like I said, people coming to you, even if it's just your significant other, because sometimes we ignore them too because we think they're supposed to tell us that our life is going to be great. But no, that is still the ancestors' way of letting you know that everything is going to be everything. When they tell you this is going to be great, it is. When you get small compliments from people on your work, you're supposed to take that and say, yes, this is my confirmation that I needed to keep pushing forward. Okay. So this is interesting that you got this, because I just see this as something very, very grand. And a lot of you are successful already. But if you're not as successful as you want to be, you will be. You're going to be like beyond your expectations. And a lot of spiritual messages that you ignore probably deal with your business, your career, and where you're going. Okay. They may try to get you to do something that you put down years ago because they know that it's going to be successful. So if you have a lot of business plans that you kind of put to the side, or maybe certain talents that you just left behind, if you see people bringing them up, like, do you still sing? Do you still rap? Do you still paint? Do you still do poetry? Do you still, are you still reading cards? Whatever the case may be, it's kind of like it's to remind you of who you are and what you're here to do, because you're supposed to be successful, and this is going to help future generations. Okay, so don't just think about yourself on this. All right. What spiritual messages are you ignoring? All right. Okay. It's always the opposite. I be thinking that it's not going to be as spiritual, but then it turns out to be that way. All right. So let's see. One of the messages that I'm receiving is that even if you have a partner or other people that you might work with, whatever the case may be, they're saying don't hide your greatness behind this person. Don't feel like you're in competition with someone else to the point that you can't shine. Everybody has their time, and also, everybody has their own lane. Even if you're working in the same department, you're not going to do it the same. So don't hide behind anybody. Be as great as you're supposed to be, because this is a part of the reason that holds you back. You're supposed to step forward with your talents. Don't think because somebody else is doing it, yours is not going to be good enough. Even if they have millions of people watching them, the thousands of people that watch you are for you, and you're going to have whatever it is that you need to succeed. So don't let other people's success discourage you from your own success, okay? Because they're talking about needing to come forward. And also, they're also speaking on someone putting you down, whether this was in the past or it's present. Don't let anybody put you down. You know, continue to build yourself up. Let me see here. Hold on one second. Okay, there is a grandmother spirit saying that you're ignoring healing. You're ignoring certain healing that you need. This grandmother spirit is saying that this is part of the problem. There needs to be healing done. Okay. She's sending a lot of signs to you. And this may come through the form. She may speak through, if you have a significant other, she may speak through that significant other to tell you that you need to heal certain things from the past that hold you back. Okay? Even certain friends reaching out to you about certain things, there needs to be some healing done. Also some forgiving of the past. Interesting. Okay. All right. A lot of you need a lot of self-love and self-attention. You need to feel proud of who you are. I'm seeing a lot of abundance. I'm saying you need to put out what you have to the world. This is the solution. This is the solution. You bringing forth your ideas. Bring it to people. Bring it to the community. Put your ideas out there. You have been told many times before that you're supposed to be putting your ideas out there. And I'm not sure why you're holding back. Maybe you do it, 10%. You need to do it 100% of the time because there's just so much, you have to offer to people. And they're not going to know about it if you're not putting it out there. And like I said, a lot of it just deals with self-confidence. They're talking about a major event when you basically come out of your shell. When you go on that journey to release certain things that you've been holding in, that self-expression. It's important for your self-expression as well. Because I'm seeing confidence issues. Whether it's bullying, whether it's, past people telling you that, oh, that's not what it is, or it's not good enough. You need to heal that aspect of yourself because it's important. They're saying you have the $1 million idea. You may be living in a house now, but, a couple years down the road, you could be in a mansion. You need to continue to expand your mind. And a lot of you have warrior spirit ancestors that you need to connect to. This will ward off any negative thoughts that have been planted in your head by other people. You do not need to speak low of yourself. Stop saying that you're broke or you don't have no money. They're saying that this manifests in your life. Yeah, they're saying the resource that you don't use is your ideas. You don't plug your ideas. You're not using up that masculine energy. You're not plugging your ideas into things. And for some of you, it's even spiritual. Those of you who want to be spiritual leaders and things like that, you want to show people things. You're not trying to do it. You're just trying to do the talking, but you're not doing the walking. Okay? All right, so let's see. What spiritual messages are you ignoring? Yeah, this person's on the coin. Yep. You on the coin. You on that $1 million idea, but you're not putting it out there like you're supposed to. What spiritual messages are you ignoring? Move forward. I told you, healing from the past. Okay. And let's see. What spiritual messages are you ignoring? Your ancestors, your indigenous ancestors were very prideful, very outgoing. and they feel that same thing lives within you. Okay? So let's see. What spiritual messages are you ignoring? Move forward. Stop letting the past hold you back. Be creative. I told you, if you don't start being creative, you know, that's interesting, because when someone's called to read the bones and things like that, when you have a spiritual calling, a lot of times you will get sick, or, you know, just negative things will happen until you go ahead and answer the ancestral calling. So it's kind of like the same thing here. I'm not manifesting anything bad on you, but I'm saying that you will feel a lot of, like you don't have a purpose in this world. And it's almost like you are self-defeating. You are your own worst enemy in a sense, because you may complain about not having a purpose when, again, you have so many spiritual signs, or people even literally coming to you and telling you, are you going to do this? Or when are you going to do that? And you're like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And you never get to it. So make sure that you're actualizing your ideas. Take a breath, relax, and you have, look, I can't make that up. Doors, opportunities. Doors and opportunities. This is you in the future. You know, hopefully you'll invite me to the mansion. All right, to the mansion party. So you have Spirit who recently passed on speaking. Thank you for keeping me in your thoughts and memories. I love you. So whoever this applies to, someone who passed on recently, doesn't have to be the grandmother energy. Can be, but doesn't have to be, because she already popped up in the reading. This is someone who recently passed on. It's like, thank you for keeping me in your thoughts. Thank you for speaking good things of me. All right, and then you have the arranged marriage comes out again. I was going to say that for some of you, you have partners that you're going to be in business with too. So, but you should not let their success or what they're doing, like you should come together with ideas. You should have your own thing. They should have their own thing, even if it's in the same field. You know, manifest together, but be your own person to where you know that, you know, you're creating your own name and legacy that you can be proud of. Inspired. Can't make that up. Creative drive. Remain focused on your goals. Keep your head clear. All right. So go ahead and manifest that $1 million idea before the ancestors come and get you. All right. Let's go on to pile 3. All right. Pile number 3. All right. So for those of you who chose pile number 3, here we go. Let's look at your pile here. So what spiritual messages are you ignoring? So the first thing with this picture is, like, I get that, you know, you're supposed to go to faraway places. And I'm not saying far away meaning, you know, you're stranded on an island somewhere. But I do feel like, you know, a lot of you have received signs about traveling, you know, being open to experiencing different communities, things like that, because you have a lot to learn. I'm also seeing this as like, you know, going back to the old ways. And I think that this is weird, but this is just what I'm getting started out. It's almost like you're supposed to turn off your phone. You're supposed to turn off the TVs, like really get in sync with your environment, like solitude. So things may stop working in your house. You know, a lot of things that pulled on a lot of electricity may just go out suddenly, or the TV's acting up, or just a lot of different little signs that you receive that are basically to implement you having more time out in nature. And you may even have dreams where you're just outside and you don't understand what, you know, you're not making sense of it, but it's like you're supposed to be in sync with nature. I'm also seeing this as new environment, settlement. Of course, it says settlement, but I'm talking about like, foundation, working on your foundation as well. So let's see what this is going to entail. So what spiritual messages are you ignoring? Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, so this is weird, guys. So just follow me here, okay? Because I'm literally seeing somebody packing up and leaving, like hitting the road feeling too restricted in their current situation. And this is not going to apply for everybody, all right? But this is some of you. They're showing that, you know, whether it's dealing with a relationship or it's just dealing with where you're currently, like you currently feel tied down to. I'm seeing somebody, and this is also quitting a job too. But for some of you, you're just taking your stuff, packing up, and just leaving. I see that you want to expand your ventures, like traveling and things like that. So you've been receiving spiritual messages about traveling and moving and relocating and unrestricting yourself. Like you have been really receiving signs about that, getting away. Yeah. Some of you are like, forget it. You know, I'm just going to take my chances. I'm going to take the risk of leaving everything behind and just starting fresh. Doing things the way that I want to do them. I've been restricted way too long. So this is like the land of nowhere almost. Like, I know it's not literally, but it just almost looks like that. Like you're just in the middle of nowhere, but you're comfortable there. And you're really taking time to find yourself and who you truly are outside of a relationship, outside of a job, outside of anything that you feel restricts you. So this is interesting. This is even for those of you who are still living with parents and things like that. I even see that. Like you want to see who you are as an individual. And this is supported. I'm not saying, you know, leave your relationship if it's working out, because for some of you, you're going to pack up this person that you're with and you're going to take them with you. You know, you're going to just, like I said, get away from everything and the world and just kind of zone out, you know. But you're being told, even during this time, you're supposed to be going into hermit mode, which is learning, connecting to your ancestors. Do not forget about them as you're going into this solitude moment. But you're also going to level up spiritually a lot during this time. Spirit is like you've just been involved in too many things for years and years and years. And now it's time for you to have that moment of solitude where you can focus on yourself. Your spiritual growth, your spiritual learning, and just knowing and breathing yourself. Not everybody else's energy, not taking care of everybody, none of that. Like you, it's time for you to focus on you, okay? I'm also seeing a shaman being born here. Shaman is not necessarily the word for it. It could be medicine man, medicine woman, but you get the drift. Like for some of you, during this time of solitude, you're going to elevate. So don't be like, you know, why isn't anybody around me? You're receiving spiritual signs that it's okay to be alone, all right? Because again, you're supposed to be elevating spiritually. And I'm seeing some ancestors being able to connect to you more so when things are quiet around you. So you must have like a busy life, or you've had a busy life. And now things are just trying to push you to kind of have some alone time to where you can regroup from everything that you've been through up until this point. All right, I'm seeing a grandfather spirit and a young woman spirit here as well. And the grandfather spirit has been trying to connect to you and is a protector spirit. It could be a great grandfather as well. I see this female presence, whether it's like an aunt, mother, you know, hopefully not mother, but if it is, mother, sister, whoever this is in the spirit realm. They're just wanting to, you know, have a conversation with you. Nothing bad there. Yeah, I'm seeing a time for emotional healing. Yeah. And so for those of you who have received abuse from family, I'm also seeing healing needed for that too. Okay, so that's why you're also having this solitude time to detach from people. Regain confidence, regroup. Okay, so let's see. What spiritual messages are you ignoring? See, you can't make that up. The hut. What does that look like? Let me show you this. Both of these look like the hut. Okay? Almost the same picture. All right? So it says foundation, being secure. Like they're saying that you got to focus on you first. You can't be, you know, trying to keep everybody else's house up. You got to keep your own house up and your own foundation up. Yeah, that protection. And then again, you got your warrior spirits here too. Remember us. Remember the sacrifice we've made. The ancestors have paved the way for you. Interesting. You have our protection. Increase your spiritual power to succeed in battles. For those of you who have been wanting to level up spiritually, this is honestly what it requires. And this is off to the side. So this is something that's really being ignored. The medicine woman, it says, spiritual medicine, healing provided, seeking solutions to issues unseen. So a lot of you were supposed to already have started to understand medicine and spiritual medicine and herbs and things like that. But again, with your world being so busy, it just kind of, one, it doesn't really leave time for elevation, and two, you're kind of in and out of the spiritual energy. Like you keep going back and forth between working and all this other stuff going on in your life, then you're back spiritual. So this is a time for you to really set your foundation spiritually. So I see a lot of you elevating. Yeah, wisdom developed over time. I sense unwanted energy. Everything you do is for a reason. Your hard work will pay off. Cheer up and keep pushing forward. So I think this is a time also to reflect on some of your achievements as well. Things that you have been working hard on. Okay. We have warded off negative plans and plots against you. Okay. So you're well protected. I'm also saying this is a time to regroup, cleanse your home, cleanse your house. Some of you are going to be receiving important spiritual tools too. So I guess this is a better term for it is grounding. Grounding. Having a time to escape. So let's get some more messages and then we're going to close out this reading. What spiritual messages are being ignored? Yeah, they're also speaking on, you know, it's time for you to stop settling for things that you're unhappy with. Okay, no matter what it is. Stop settling for things that you're unhappy with. Again, that regrouping, that spiritual shutdown so that you can regroup is going to help with that. Because they say there's a lot of illusions that you create around yourself where you'll tolerate things and you may not be completely happy with it. Okay? It's time for you to figure out what it is that you desire. Okay? Yeah, they say what you desire isn't in alignment at this time, and then you have desire right on top of that. So it's like certain things aren't working because they're not supposed to work because you're not feeling it anyway, you know? So it's time to regroup and figure out what it is that you want right now. Because you can have anything that you want. Figure out what is it that you want. See, can't make that up. Adventure. Adventure speaks to risk. It speaks to travel. It speaks to just kind of exploring things, connectivity, connecting to the world, getting to know different parts of your ancestry, your tribe, figuring out who you are at your core. You have cleansed yourself, control your emotions. Let's get one more card on that. Be creative. This is going to spark a lot of creativity into you as well. Only speak good things, move forward in your life. Okay. All right, guys. So that is a reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which one you chose, and peace out.